We're always told that to solve a really tough problem, you've just got to think harder, right? Focus more, use more logic. But what if that's completely backwards? What if the real key to unlocking your best ideas, your own personal genius, isn't about more thinking, but about getting out of your own head completely? Let's get into it.
Just let that sink in for a second. You will never outthink a feeling. It's such a simple but profound statement because it really gets to the core of why we get stuck. We keep trying to throw logic at problems that are actually coming from somewhere much deeper, from our intuition, our emotions, and all these unconscious connections our rational mind just can't see on its own.
And this leads us right into what you could call the thinking trap. This is that super frustrating feeling when you hit a wall and you try to just power through it with logic. But all that happens is you get more and more stuck. It's like you're just spinning your wheels.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're staring at that blank page, trying to force out that perfect first sentence. Or maybe you're looking at a spreadsheet and the numbers they won't make sense. And it seems like the harder you stare, the harder you analyze, the farther away the answer gets. It feels like your own internal monologue, that voice in your head, becomes the biggest obstacle. So what is actually going on in our brains when that happens?
Well, it turns out the part of your brain that's mostly responsible for this little trap is actually one of its most powerful parts, the prefrontal cortex. You can think of it as a kind of gatekeeper for your thoughts.
Yeah, think of your prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. It's the executive. It handles all the big stuff, making plans, solving logical puzzles, and this is the really crucial part. It's the source of that constant voice in your head. Your internal dialogue, that's it. And this is where the paradox comes in. On one hand, this gatekeeper is absolutely brilliant at focused analytical work, but its greatest strength is also, believe it or not, its biggest weakness. It filters out anything that doesn't fit into a neat, logical, word-based box. So it really struggles with abstract connections, with raw emotion, and with those deep, unconscious insights that are the real fuel for creativity. It can literally stand in the way, blocking your best ideas from ever seeing the light of day. Okay, so if our logical gatekeeper is the problem, what's the solution? Well, the goal is to bypass it. And the way we do that is by entering what's known as the wordless state.
Now, wordlessness isn't about emptying your mind, like in meditation. It's almost the opposite. It's about filling your mind with something other than words. It's about getting your body's motor and sensory systems so involved, so engaged, that the internal chatter just fades into the background. It's a state of pure energy in motion. You stop thinking and you just start doing. And that's what allows you to tap into a much deeper level of processing. Now, I know this might sound a little bit out there, but it's actually incredibly practical. So, how do you actually do this? How do you get into this state on purpose to tap into that unconscious genius? Okay, here's a simple way to think about it. First, you've got to pick something that doesn't really rely on language. Think about painting or playing an instrument, building something with your hands, maybe even going for a run or dancing. Second, you have to fully immerse yourself in it. Really focus on the physical sensations. What does the brush feel like on the canvas? What are the vibrations of the guitar string against your fingers? The rhythm of your feet on the pavement? The whole goal is to get so absorbed in the physical act of doing that you literally forget to narrate it to yourself. That's the sweet spot. That's when the magic happens. And the payoff for getting good at this is, well, it's huge. When you can successfully quiet that prefrontal cortex, you open the door to some really surprising and powerful benefits. So, yeah, of course, it's an amazing way to generate new creative ideas. That makes sense. But here's the part that's going to blow your mind. It's also an incredibly effective way to solve really complex logic problems. I know, right? By stepping away from the logic, you let your unconscious mind find connections your conscious brain would have just filtered out. It's also a powerful way to process complex emotions or even trauma because it lets you feel and move through them without getting stuck analyzing them with words. At the end of the day, it really boils down to this. Your brain is always working, making these incredible connections in the background, but the constant chatter from your logical mind, that CEO, can totally drown out its whispers. By intentionally creating these moments of wordlessness, you're just giving your unconscious the quiet space it needs to deliver those incredible, game-changing breakthroughs right to you. So I'll just leave you with this thought. That problem you've been wrestling with, that creative idea that feels like it's just out of reach, what do you think would happen if you just stopped thinking about it and just started doing something else instead?
What breakthrough is waiting for you on the other side of all that silence?